Why does any of this matter? This entire framework exists within a context fabricated for the purpose of online gameplay. The fact is, choices made within the framework of World of Warcraft and the resulting interactions allow us to look at the gendered interactions and stereotypes that exist in society today. The players shared with me some of their personal in-game experiences.
You know, when you're under-geared and you don't have any money at the beginning of the game, if you run around town as a male avatar asking for cash, sometimes you don't get it, but as long as you can, you know, play around a little bit, make a couple jokes, you can usually get a lot more help early on if you're a female. And you don't admit it, that you're not a female.
I was running the instance on my warlock who's female, and with a friend of mine in our guild, he plays a female blood elf, which is kind of like, you know, the standard issue sexy race. And the ironic thing is that his main is the opposite faction, the Alliance, and his name is I'm a Dude on the Alliance side. And so here we are, him and I, the only two female avatars in this group. And the third DPS, who was what's called a pug, he wasn't in the guild, he's just a pickup member that we get randomly from the general population of the server. And they kind of have this reputation for being worthless. Most of the time when you pug something, you're, you know, expecting at least a certain level of failure. And he did absolutely nothing the entire run but hit on both of us, like constantly. And of course, I mean, we're in our vent channel laughing our asses off. Eventually, we convince this guy that I'm also a dude, but at the same time, he says he doesn't care because our avatars aren't. And I mean, in that particular instance was kind of amusing, but at the same time, it really just wanted to make you slam your head on your desk. It was so ridiculous. And, you know, a consistent, I guess, outpouring of such events gets on one's nerves after a while.
I was leveling a female paladin at one point, and I was having trouble doing some of the group quests, and I couldn't, like, there was no one on the server. So I just started flirting with some dude and got him to do the quests for me. And I just continued flirting with him, and every time I logged on that character for like the month or so that I played it after that, he would always try and talk to me and get to talk to me more and be like, hey, ASL, and, you know, try and get my email address once. It's kind of off-putting. I still haven't told him that I was ever a dude.
These testimonies may just seem like accounts of video game antics, but the fact that this type of gendered treatment exists in environments where the gender of the human behind the avatar is not guaranteed to match the gendered appearance of the avatar itself is problematic at best. How do the players themselves deal with the issues of implied gender in-game? How do they make gendered assumptions about others?
It's hard. I find it hard not to. Like, you assume that you see a male character that's probably a male playing that character, even though that's not always the case.
Sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. Generally, it's more on how they act than the actual avatar. However, the pairing of the two is really how you make an accurate guess. Like, if you just see a female avatar, by no stretch would I ever assume it's a woman, but that doesn't go for male avatars either. It's a combination of the avatar and the player's actions that let you know. Girls with male avatars, you can kind of tell they talk a little different. They're trying to be a little more ambiguous, I think. And then guys with female avatars are the ones that are super girly. And like female avatars that just talk normal, there's no way to tell. It could be a girl, it could just be a dude that like picked a female avatar because they look cool.
I wouldn't necessarily say that the gender of the avatar is necessarily representative of the person who's playing that avatar's gender.
I don't really feel that that's anyone's beeswax unless I get to know them. Like, obviously there are people that I know as well as anyone can over the internet in-game, and they are well aware that I'm female. I kind of think of it as being a protective mechanism. I mean, it's kind of virtual self-defense in a lot of ways, because there's very little that you can do about being harassed in the game. I mean, you can report someone to a GM, and they might get banned, but you're never going to know. They aren't legally able to tell you what they did to punish this person. Like, the guy who told me to get back in the kitchen definitely got his ass reported, and I mean, I don't know what happened to him, and I didn't go looking for him in game because, you know, he's a douchebag, so what do I care? But there isn't a lot you can do to really, you know, protect yourself, defend yourself, or anything of that sort. So I kind of think of having a male avatar as just sidestepping all of that shenanigans.
Well, I don't feel like I need to tell him. Plus, I also feel it's kind of weird if, like, I had a chick as a character.
Why?
I don't know. It's just kind of like, why would I, as a guy, why would I play as a girl? It just didn't, not to be sexist, but it just doesn't see, like, I'm not going to go around and play as a girl because I just, like, want to play the game to win.
I mean, because I play a girl character, I guess sometimes people think I'm a girl, but it's highly unlikely to, because the population of male to females that actually play World of Warcraft is so skewed towards males that rarely do people assume that you're actually a girl playing a girl character. Like, I think it's hilarious, especially when people hear me talk in the game and, like, it's coming out of this little elf chick. It sounds really funny.
Although this is a discussion of gendered treatment online, it is important to think about what it says about the gendered treatment of individuals in real-life society, who are generally treated in a gendered way according to the gender inferred by others about their physical bodies.